Members of the persons in the ministry, personnel from the ministry rather, would have attended this morning to do a tour of the school, following concerns that were raised by the president of the association and several teachers and elder parents as well at the Vauxhall Primary School. The Ministry of Education would have been aware of some issues at the school. I think many of you may be aware that these issues are not new, but equally they are of deep concern to several of the parents and certainly to the students and indeed to the ministry. We started the process when we had been alerted in December of having the personnel along with environmental health visit the school with a view to identifying areas of priority so that we would be able to acquire the necessary finances to start the work that was necessary to be carried out. We would have started with some plumbing issues that would have been developing over the past few months. There were issues in terms of blockage in the system. Those issues we'd started to address those. Today, the persons who are dealing with the garbage receptacle, which apparently has been a major source of contention for a lot of the persons in the school because the area requires to be contained in terms of a covered area. There's some breaches in the fencing which have allowed some of the rodents and stuff to come onto the compound. So we are addressing the fencing area in terms of making some repairs to that area, as well as being able to cover the garbage receptacle as well. So those works will continue over the course of the next couple of days. We recognize from the hard court where we are here that there are some areas where, because of the use of the facility by the community and certainly by the students, you have some areas where the perspex which would have been over some of the louver windows. In many cases, those are broken from time to time. So what we are proposing to do is to replace those areas with wood to be able to still allow for ventilation, but for the most part to prevent a repeat of the perspex being broken or even the glass being broken. Another concern that had been raised by the staff and by the association was in relation to areas of mold and stuff in some of the rooms. Truthfully, we identified at least two of the rooms, I think it is, that where we see that there's a problem with the eaves not having been sealed, and we have basically engaged persons to start to seal those areas specifically. There's a lot of work that will have to be done in terms of interior petitions as well, but I think we've agreed with the association that we will do that in a phased process to avoid any major disruption of the school. Now, the school has the rodent problem in the area, obviously around the garbage receptacle. The rodents will find places where there are spaces for them to breed. And we accept that underneath some of the prefab buildings, you have a lot of garbage that is blowing under the building. So we want to be able to pull out a lot of the garbage and then find a sealing material, perhaps through wire, to be able to seal the areas to prevent additional garbage from coming on underneath the building and certainly creating a breeding ground for the rats as well. So we've identified some cleanup plans in terms of the overall premises. Generally, the structure has not had significant renovations for a rather long period. Back in the summer period, the nutrition room underwent some renovations. There's still additional work that has to be done, and I believe now for this financial year coming, we've already budgeted that Vauxhall Primary would be in the domestic summer program. But obviously that is a little way off, and we want to be able to make sure that we can get a number of the low-hanging fruit that have been identified by the association as well as the teachers as well addressed in the shortest possible time frame. With that in mind, one of the major issues for me certainly has been the bathroom facilities. These we wanted to do within the domestic summer program, but the state of the bathrooms really, given the role, which is not a large role, it's over 300 students. There's only one main bathroom for girls and boys, and I feel very strongly that we need to address this urgently. Now, it is likely that the work would normally take about 2 weeks. We're in discussions with the contractors to how we can possibly seek to bring that time down in terms of maybe a week or so. So with that in mind, and that being for us, I think the major priority at this point in time, we're seeking to close school tomorrow and Friday, which would allow us at least 4 days in order to be able to go into the weekend with a view to being able to bring in all of the teams from tomorrow to start to address a number of the concerns. I really want to thank the association as well through Adrian, because a number of these problems, yes, have been highlighted And in the way that he did it, I suppose he felt that that was perhaps the best way to attract the greatest attention. But these are serious issues that are confronting the school, and certainly his daughter and other students that are here. And in no way would the ministry trivialize the issues of rodents or bathrooms or anything of that nature. I think we are agreed that we have to approach it with priorities in mind, given limited resources. But the good thing is that the next financial year, we do have Vauxhall Primary budgeted within the finances to be able to address a number of the problems. But this school is old. There are it's not the worst that I have seen, certainly, but in terms of being able to address a lot of the low-hanging fruit, we're going to start that exercise certainly. We're starting today, but we're also starting by closing the school tomorrow and Friday to be able to get all of the resources in so that schools will